Charlie, the way just yesterday Levi Cole's ACL injury looked like it's going to take a huge toll on. I mean, it's going to be the first test for Enzo Maresca. It's some way. It's some way. And even if you look at the fact that in the squad, there are people that can play certain parts of Levi Cole's game, but not the full part. Um, what do Chelsea need? Chelsea need a ball playing CCB sweeper. I'll explain that. Ball playing CCB sweeper. If you look at the other side as well, there are a lot of other centre backs. In fact, Chelsea's biggest depth is in centre back area. A lot of quality from that area. But do they have enough cover for Levi Cole? Should they go into the market to buy a centre back? Those are the big questions that today a lot of Chelsea people are going to ask. See, I saw Fabrizio Romano tweets that Chelsea will not go onto the market to buy a centre back. But that doesn't mean that they will not buy a centre back. I'll explain that as well. Barcelona have lost Inigo Martinez to a contract issue. They spoke to Inigo Martinez. Inigo Martinez had an option in his contract to extend for a year, or if a team abroad comes, he is going to go for free. If a team abroad comes, he's going to go for free. But see, Inigo Martinez's importance to Football Club Barcelona was something else. Yesterday, the Ballon d'Or listeners out spoke about it. Hey, Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Not subscribe to the channel. I'm entreating you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notification. Yesterday, I did mention that I was going to put the link to the new channel in the description, but then I failed to do that. I'll do that today, I promise. Forgive me for that. I'll do that today. And of course, yesterday again, just one team messed up the course for the investors. But of course, like we go again. We are an investor. We go again. In the description of the video below, today's codes are going to be available for you. Go pick them up and give yourself a chance at winning something over here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. It's important that we have all of that discussion over here and all of that details as well. Of course, if you're new to the channel, thank you very much for choosing to subscribe to the channel and turn on notification. Yes, subscribe and turn on notification. It's very, very imperative that you subscribe and turn on notification. How do we go on from here? Where do we start from? See, one of the things I'm hearing, first of all, is that we say a big thank you to our people. First of all, Yesumo Spare Parts Dealership Shop. The best place in terms of getting spare parts is at Yesumo. Nobody does it better than them. Every car, in fact, some of the best cars that you can get on the market, you get it from Yesumo Spare Parts Dealership Shop. Whether it's a Range Rover, it's a Mercedes, it's a Lexus, it's an Acura, it's a Highlander. If you're in Ghana, you're in Accra, then you take your car straight to Abose Okai and then post office there. He'll do it for you. Quick. But if you're not close to the place or you're outside of Ghana, you're even outside in the neighboring countries in Ghana, outside of Ghana, then you just have to call him. If you are nationwide delivery and even outside international deliveries, Yesumo does it for you. Call his number 059-313-8221. 059-313-8221. And of course, if you need clothes, if you need a shirt, if you need Lacoste, if you need round necks, if you need slippers, if you need belts, if you need any apparel, whether you're going out, whether you're going for a date, whether you're going to work, whether you're going whatever, the best place for you is to go to Accra. Tudu, that flower station at Tudu, acts of MOB clothing at our flower station at Tudu. Gerald and then the team at there today, I hear that they've received fresh consignments over there. Just go there and then look for the people over there and tell them that, oh, Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube told us that this is the best place for us to get any clothing apparel. If you can't go there as well, you are far from Tudu, you are far from Accra, you just have to call them. Just call them, they do nationwide delivery. Whether you want retail, whether you want wholesale, call them on 0200-668-708, 0200-668-708, or on 024-7277-140, 024-7277-140. Call them now and get everything that you do need from there. They are going to take care of you nicely. Let's start with this Ballon d'Or conversation, and the fact that Xabi Alonso, we are hearing that next season is going to play with two centre forwards. It looks as if it's clear that the plan for Xabi Alonso going into next season is not going to be a 4-3-3, but more like a 3-5-2 of a sort, or just so they can have enough players to defend the central zones of Madrid. Maybe also to buy him time to get his players to understand how he wants to play his football. Something that's very, very important because it looks as if the players have not understood how Xavi Alonso perfectly wants to play. Of course, he's a new manager and it was always going to take some time. So one of the things it looks as if Xavi Alonso wants to do is that he wants to play with a back three and then two wing backs. Alvaro Carreras now is in. Trent Alexander-Arnold is also part of the team. They can play Dean Hudson as a CCB centrally and then two other flanking centre backs with him. Then in the middle of the park, they play with three midfielders. It can be Orient Chimini, it can be Jude Bellingham or Arda Güler, and of course Federico Valverde. This permutation. Then up top, it looks like it's going to be a two top with maybe Vinicius Junior and Kylian Mbappe. That is what Marca is reporting this morning, that Real Madrid look like they are going to go into the season with a two centre back, centre forward option, not a three centre forward option, not a three attack option for them. It's a good setup usually for teams that are starting newly when coaches have not gotten their teams to understand his methods. One of the ways that they tend to build things up is to make sure that they go with such systems, such three back, and then because it's easy to defend the three back than to do so in a four at the back system. So we'll see how things are going to go on when it comes to Real Madrid and the players that are going to play in that system and whether they are going to be successful. And maybe that's the reason why they didn't sell Gonzalo Garcia. They understood that for them to be able to get that ability to play consistently, for them to be able to get that arrowhead centre forward, that can be the focal point of the attack for either of Vinicius Junior or Mbappe to run in behind them. Then they need somebody like Gonzalo Garcia up top. I've also thought that, see, one of the things that Madrid needs going into the season is to increase their output. In fact, in the attacking teams, one of the players that won a lot of duels was Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham works harder without the ball. But Vinicius Junior and Mbappe seem like their output without the ball have been a little bit questionable. What Madrid has to do is that they need to increase their output without the ball. Because if you don't increase your output without the ball, you only do so much with the ball. And if you meet teams that work extra hard, extra aggressive, and win good duels, it's going to be difficult for you to be able to beat them in that regard. So we'll see how Madrid are going to pan out from there. Yesterday, it was confirmed two things. First off, at Football Club Barcelona, Marc-Andre ter Stegen's captaincy has been stripped. He is no more the captain of Football Club Barcelona. Yes, Marc-Andre ter Stegen is no more the captain of Football Club Barcelona. I mean, after disciplinary conversation, Barca sat down and they felt that what Marc-Andre ter Stegen has done to the club is liable to being in discipline, and then that the action that was going to be taken against him is that Omojomo captain Sambano every branch friend Marc-Andre ter Stegen is in. So now Marc-Andre ter Stegen is no more the captain of Football Club Barcelona. It has now fallen on the hand of Ronaldo. But for me, the thing that happened yesterday that was really telling for Barcelona and then also the team is that when you look at a team like Football Club Barcelona and then the fact that as a team, right, everything that happened within them, everything that happened around them, the fact that Inigo Martinez just leaves after that ter Stegen decision, it makes it a little bit difficult for them. Why? When it comes to the leadership at the back, the kind of telepathic relationship that Pau Kubasi and Inigo Martinez built last season was the best. In fact, you won't get that telepathic relationship anywhere. Last season, Pau Kubasi, Inigo Martinez, brilliant telepathic relationship on the ball, off the ball. You know, of course, Pau Kubasi, very, very young player. Last season was around 17, 18, thereabout. Then there is Inigo Martinez, who is at the time 34 or so, old guy, experienced. The good thing is that this guy is a backs guy. I mean, these backs people, they are very aggressive. They work harder. They are like the Catalan people, work very aggressive. They work hard. They want to win duels. They don't want to lose. So coming into that Barcelona team, for me, I think that it fits seamlessly. One ball playing centre back in Pau Kubasi, who is young, youthful exuberance is in there. He will be aggressive. He will push up. But Inigo Martinez is aggressive also, but uses that experience to be the sweeper at the back of Football Club Barcelona. So it's going to be something that Barca are really going to miss. If it comes to the on-the-ball ability, Christensen can play that ball on the ball. He is one of the best that he can get on the ball. And I've said several times that if there is any player that fits Hansi ball, then one of them is Andreas Christensen. If there is any player that should have been kept at Football Club Barcelona, is Andreas Christensen, because yes, when he was younger, he was a little bit lethargic. He wasn't that aggressive centre back that you wish the centre back is in the modern game. but now he's aggressive. Now he wins duels. Now he's very physical. And also he's excellent on the ball. And he also has a cool head, calm on the ball. Without, if you want him to play as a sweeper to Pau Kubasi, he can. So for me, the loss of Inigo Martinez is huge, not from the ability point of view. And also the fact that Barca will now free up some space to register Juan Garcia, register Marcus Rashford, because essentially still Marc-Andre Ter Stegen is struggling to give them that permission to send his medical data for that permission for them to be able to take off a salary off the books. Again, the sales of Hector Ford, the sales of what's the name, Inaki Pena have not come to just yet, and that space will help Barca to register. So the ability wise, not a problem, not a problem. When it comes to finances, it's also a positive to Barcelona. But for me, the bigger question is the leadership ability of Inigo Martinez, because I don't think that Ronald Araujo is going to play consistently. Why am I saying this? Ronald Araujo is a good centre back, but in that Hansi ball system, it's sort of how do I say it? It sort of exposes centre backs to their weakness. So if your weakness is something that will be highlighted by that kind of style of play, then you're affected. And I think that's what happens to Ronald Araujo. Of all the centre backs that Barcelona have, he's the only one who is not the most comfortable on the ball. He's the only one who is not the calmest. I mean, Ronald Araujo is the aggressive guy. He is a very good defender. On the ball, he's not an Inigo. He's not a Kubasi. He's not even an Eric Garcia. He's not close to a Christensen. So that is where I think that, I mean, Ronald Araujo will not be playing consistently, even though he's captain. I think that at the centre back area, it may look like Christensen and Paul Kubasi because they fit exactly how Hansi Flick wants to play. If either of them want to step into midfield, they can. Also, so now that is the problem. There's a leadership at the back. It means that at the back, I've not seen Kunde talk too much. He looks like he's a very calm, collected guy, just plays his football. Either of Kubasi, who is the youngest, would have to step up, or maybe Christensen, who is not a through and through Catalan, would have to. He's not even a Catalan. He has to step up and then be the leader at the back for them all. Maybe with Juan Garcia coming in, Juan Garcia, who is obviously a through and through Catalan, will now help the team settle at the back and then give them that leadership that they need at the back. So that is what I think Barca are losing. But apart from that, the ability is there. The experience is something that Barca are losing largely. And boy, I love Inigo Martinez as a player. I mean, for me, when I meet people that play the game with heart and grit, and then with everything that they have in them, they are the people that I love. And for me, my favorite position has always been centre back, because you have to be a brilliant man to be able to play as centre back. You have to be brilliant. Forget about those that score the goals, but you have to be an excellent centre back to be able to play there. So I mean, it's a little bit of a big thing for Barcelona. Yesterday, Inigo Martinez left the Quintet Esportiva for the very last time as a Barcelona player. And he's going on to Al Nassr. In fact, the move to Al Nassr is done. It means that Cristiano Ronaldo is going to get another experienced centre back in his ranks. People keep on saying that Ronaldo is building his own team to be able to win the Asian Champions League. I mean, adding Joao Felix, Cristiano Ronaldo himself, the host of the players that are there, Sadio Mane is still there. They are going to add Inigo Martinez's experience in Europe to go in there and go and play. I think that they have a solid team. I think that Inigo Martinez now goes away, feels like he can make some good money. I don't like saying that players are going to Saudi just to make money. Sometimes it's a little bit unfair to them, but then again, there's good money in Saudi Arabia. So Inigo Martinez may go there, go and get the money, and then come back later to come and spend the money. So I mean, good speed, and then I think Barca fans will wish Inigo Martinez. But if you go in front of Sport, in front of Mundo Deportivo, everybody's talking about the fact that Inigo Martinez has left football club Barcelona, and then that Barca will have to take decisions from now. Barca I don't think Barca will go into the market to look for a replacement for him at centre back. I don't think so. I mean, they can if there's a market opportunity, but I don't think they will as it stands now. But we'll see how all of those things are going to pan out from there. Charlie, see, yesterday Chelsea heard good news and they didn't hear good news. But let me start from this. Alejandro Garnacho looks like he is at this point begging to join Chelsea. Seriously. Because, see, if you look at the Chelsea itinerary in terms of transfers, right? I've seen a lot of you send messages and say that Fifi, the Xavi Simons deal has kept long. I kept on telling all of you that Xavi Simons was always going to be done when Chelsea have confirmed sales. Chelsea have only confirmed Kenan Drisbiol and confirmed Leslie Wuchuku. Wuchuku 22 million, Kenan Drisbiol around 30 million, makes it about 52 million. Not enough to do the deal for Xavi Simons and also keep some of the money there. So I'm hearing that today Armando Broya has been given the green light to go and do his medicals and then move on to Burnley, something that will get Chelsea close to it. After that, Chelsea want to see they can fast track a move for Nicholas Jackson and Christopher Nkunku. The story that has come out is that Nicholas Jackson and Chelsea have agreed since July that they were going to part ways. Yesterday, according to Platigo from Germany, who reports for Bild and then Sky Germany, he is saying that FC Bayern Munich yesterday did a preliminary they asked about Nicholas Jackson from Chelsea Football Club. They asked to see Charlie, we play on a possible see between at all now. What are the things that we have to do? What are the requirements in getting Nicholas Jackson from Chelsea Football Club? They asked for it. Newcastle, we know, said now they've lost out in a branch friend Benjamin Sesko. So then obviously one of the players that they have to tend to is Nicholas Jackson. Will Newcastle decide to go and look for a younger centre forward and then come and develop him, or they are going to put their hope and then trust in Nicholas Jackson to come in and come and help their team? So these are all some of the things that's going to go on in that regard. So I'm saying that when it comes to Xavi Simons, the deal will happen. Chelsea, that's where they are focused on right now. They need to make sure that they do some sales in that regard. Sales has to happen. If they don't do sales, then of course financially it becomes a little bit unfeasible to finalize the deal for Xavi Simons. And I am hearing that Chelsea would Chelsea finalize the sale of Armando Broya very soon, and there are some others that they want to also finalize the sale for. Christopher Nkunku is also clear in today's game against Bayern for Leverkusen. He is not going to play. Chelsea would have to buy let some of these players go. Nkunku, Axel Disasi, Raheem Sterling is wanted by a lot of the London clubs. All of these guys have to go in that regard, and we'll see how all of those things are going to pan out. When are they going to go? But it looks as if Abrente friend Alejandro Garnacho is doing too much in the sense that Chelsea have made Alejandro Garnacho and his camp know that right now they are focused on other things and they don't want to do anything. I think that Ali Barat is pushing the deal through Fabrizio Romano, because if you listen to a lot of the aggregations from Fabrizio, he says that Chelsea are now focused on Xavi Alonso and outgoings, but then Alejandro Garnacho is waiting patiently for them, although they have told him that it's not a guarantee until Manchester United does money. And I said it, Chelsea are only going to buy Alejandro Garnacho if it's a market opportunity. I have considered. I've had reservations about Alejandro Garnacho, but again, I've learned to trust those whose day job is to do that job, the sporting directors. If they think that Alejandro Garnacho is the guy, and I hear it's Paul Winstanley that's pushing that move for Alejandro Garnacho. If they think that Alejandro Garnacho is the guy that can play that game, that can play consistently, that can be the guy from the left wing and come and compete Jimmy Bino Gittins, because at some point in time in the season, you will need that level of competition. Is it Jimmy Bino, is it Alejandro Garnacho that will give Jimmy Gittins that competition? Then he should come in, and compete to him. I'm all for that. But it looks as if the guy, he has just thrown all of his eggs into the Chelsea basket. That's Charlie Media making. Chelsea for the mobile last minute to come about. And that's why Chelsea too are happy. He said, Garnacho has made the Monfan Tunchen. Once the deal gets closed, the transfer is ended, the season is ending. And then we go there and we say, okay, fine. We want a player, your player. You have just a couple of hours to finalize the transfer. Will you give him to us or not? What amount of money do you want? You can support the boys' market in the transfer market. So we'll give you 5 million, we'll give you 3 million, we'll give you 4 million. Then we can take Alejandro Garnacho away. That is the Chelsea plan in getting Alejandro Garnacho. Something that I think is feasible, something I think is going to happen, something I think is very, very interesting. But before that, Xavi Simons is going to happen today. Chelsea are going to play against Bayern 04 Leverkusen. But before that, last night, we didn't hear good news. According to Enzo Maresca, Levi Cole did the 2 trainings, first training session, second training session. In fact, he had even gone to play football in his hometown, somewhere around the Caribbean. When he went for holiday, he played some football, came back, did first training, did the second training. In the final minutes of the second training, he felt something in his knee. and they said, okay, they were going to do tests to check if maybe it's bad or it's nothing crazy, and they can just use regular things to take care of him and make sure that he's fine. When they went to do the test, we were all waiting. Yesterday, Chelsea came and they put out the news that Levi Cole, who is essentially Chelsea's leader at the back, Chelsea's best defender in the last few months, now has come out that he has an ACL, anterior cruciate ligament injury, over there. I mean, he's a left centre back in an area where Chelsea have lacked that quality. Benoit Belashili, for me, Gerard Hatu now, and even Marco Crea, I hear Aaron and Selmino can also play in that area. But Levi Cole is a big miss for Chelsea. Why do I say that? In terms of a CCB, central centre back, it's the most important part of Enzo Maresca's style of play in the first phase, the CCB, whoever plays there. There are two CCBs at Chelsea, Tosin and then Levi Cole. But Levi Cole is better because usually when you play Tosin and then you don't have somebody like Wesley Fofana next to him, you are in trouble because Tosin is a little bit slow. Tosin is a little bit calm, lethargic, and a box defender. And we play too much with a high line, you are in trouble. Now, with Wesley Fofana coming in, it means that you can play Tosin Adebayo and West Fofana as your two centre back. Tosin becomes a CCB, plays out from the back. And then you have Wesley Fofana becomes an RCB, and then the aggressor to win duels and come back. But Wesley Fofana also just returned from injury. Is he match fit enough to be able to be aggressive and win duels and do all the right things that he has to do as a centre back? That is the big question. It's a big if. Again, when you play Tosin as a CCB and let's say Wesley is not there, it means that you need to find another CCB in the team. That is where there is no CCB again. Unless you want to play Aaron and Selmino. Now, I've seen Aaron and Selmino as a young centre back that can play as a CCB. He's good. He's very good. But I don't think that Enzo Maresca trusts him enough. Because I've seen him around the team. I don't know if he's going to go on loan or he's not going to go on loan, what the plan for Enzo Maresca is, what they want to do with him. But I mean, at the end of the day, what it means is that Enzo Maresca needs to make sure that he sorts out all of these things. Are they going to go into the market to find another centre back? The problem with Levi Cole is that even once you get an ACL, when you come back, you need almost up to a year to get back to your old self. I mean, there are a lot of other people also who never really get back to that form they were on after an ACL. I think that Levi can. I think that it's just a matter of working hard and then coming back and giving in their best. The recurring injuries. Look at Adam Militao. The last time he had an ACL, came, went. It wasn't really good for him. Virgil van Dijk has had an ACL before. He came, it looks like it was perfect. He went on with it. So it depends on the medical care that Levi Cole has gotten. It depends on how he's going to do his rehabilitation, how patient he will be with himself to come back stronger. All of these things are one of the reasons why Chelsea think that okay, then maybe we have to go into the market. If you've seen that Fabrizio Romano says that Chelsea will not buy any left centre back on the market, it is because they will not want to put themselves in a difficult position. Difficult position in the sense that you don't want to look desperate to the clubs where you want to go and buy the left centre back. I mean, there have been a lot of names. I mean, there have been Alexander Ribeiro, there have been Henkapié, there has been Alejandro Bastoni. Bastoni will be going to be difficult for you to get out of Inter Milan. I mean, Bastoni and Barella, they are literally Inter school palmers. If you want Barella from Inter, you have to pay a fortune. If you want Bastoni, you have to pay a fortune. For Lautaro Martinez, is even growing, so maybe they'll look at that. But these young players, if you want them from Inter, you have to pay an insane amount of money to be able to get them. And that is where the little problem is for Chelsea Football Club now. I've heard people mention Marc Guéhi. Marc Guéhi is not LCB. He's more of a CCB, another right centre back. Chelsea have a lot of right centre backs. They have a lot of right centre backs. So you don't particularly need to add another right centre. Ideally, whoever comes in should be a left centre back. Ideally, whoever comes in should be a left centre, or should be able to do both. Is supposed to be an ambidextrous player that plays on the left and on the right as well with both feet. Something that Chelsea don't seem like they have right now currently on the market. So it's a big worry. Are you rather going to go with Tosin Adebayo and Wesley and then count on Wesley's durability? Over the years has shown that Wesley is not durable enough to play them. Are you now going to trust Joao Hato or trust Aaron and Selmino to step up and play in their left centre back when they have to? It's another big question. Who is going to play in that area in terms of left centre back in the middle of the park as a CCB? It's another big question. So that is where Chelsea are now in terms of what they want to do, how they want to build up, because that position is so important to Enzo Maresca. He doesn't play with it. And that's why Levi Cole is important to him. I think if Benoit Bellachile is not injured, I mean, look at the games against Real Betis and some of the important games that Chelsea played last season. All of them, Benoit Bellachile played and he was good. I mean, my only problem with Benoit is that he makes things get to him. I think that if this is a big opportunity for Benoit Bellachile for him to be able to play and play consistently, because I think Benoit is good. I think that Benoit is good. I mean, people don't agree with me when I talk about Benoit Bellachile, but I saw Benoit when he came in his first few months under Mauricio Pochettino. He was a top centre back. He got injured, and then since then the form has been a little bit sketchy. But can Benoit take up this opportunity and then own that left centre back role and be the CCD? And then together with Wesley Fofana, and then he rotates with Tosin Adebayo. I don't think that Chelsea will rush onto the market right now to go and buy a CB. What they'll do, however, is that they'll wait to see if by the time we get into the middle of August or the closing part of August, they have any inroad or they realize, okay, fine, now we can do with what we have. We will change this or that or not. Then after that, they can go and buy somebody. But if not, I don't think that Chelsea will go into the markets to buy. I think that they should get somebody from within a chance. You should trust Bernard Bellachile for once, give him some time. If he's fit, and of course, give him some time to play and then prove his mettle in that regard over the for Bernard Bellachile and Chelsea's left centre back area. This evening, there's going to be that big one against Bayern 04 Leverkusen. Chelsea versus Bayern 04 Leverkusen. I don't know what you're expecting from that game. I want to hear from you. What do you expect in that game against Bayern 04 Leverkusen? Do you expect Chelsea to, which lineup are you expecting? Are you expecting that? I think that those that played in the final of the Club World Cup, Enzo Maresca will rest them more, let them sit up. He's going to try to see some of the young players, Estevao Willian, Joao Hato, the young boys. Maybe Anselmino gets to play. Maybe Tosin Adebayo, I think, gets to play. Philip Jorgensen looks like he's going to be in the post for the team. In the middle of the park, Dario Sugo, Andre Santos, all of these boys will have to play to show that they are good enough. I hear the game is this evening around somewhere around 6 p.m. thereabout. It's a game where Chelsea would have to, play. It's the first preseason game. It's really nothing, but then it's a chance to see some of the new boys and where they are. And of course, subsequently they play against AC Milan, and then also they can go into the next season. We're playing 2 weeks from now. No, I think it's about a week from this weekend. They're playing now and to go and see if they'll be able to play in another games that they are supposed to play. So it's not going to be too easy. It's not going to be too straightforward for Chelsea. But again, it looks as if the plan is there for the season to go. We'll see how that game goes on in that regard in terms of what Chelsea are going to do over there. Of course, in other news, last night, Benjamin Sesko was in Manchester. Manchester boy. Benjamin Sesko is going to be a new boy of Manchester United. And Eric Ten Hag has his man. Eric Ten Hag has his man. We've seen Ten Hag literally pick up Vitor Gyökeres, who was a good player, mind you. He scored about 19 and 20 something goals before he joined Sporting City. We've seen him turn him from whatever he was at the time to almost a monster. To a monster, not almost a monster. So essentially, we are hoping that Eric Ten Hag is going to turn Benjamin Sesko. Last night, I was watching Carlos Baleba's comps. Carlos Baleba looks like he is even better than Moises Caicedo. Carlos Baleba, in terms of the ball carrying, let me make that correction. Ball carrying ability, it looks as if Carlos Baleba is even way better than Moises Caicedo, because where he picks the ball from, how he picks the ball, those tight spaces that he receives the ball. He was Brighton's first face. I never really even paid attention to that. He is that guy. Ball carrying ability, the way he drives the team forward, and also can win you duels. If Manchester United gets Carlos Baleba, I think that he's going to be an important addition to their team. It's just that it's going to be expensive. It's going to be expensive. He's not going to. Tony Bloom is not going to give Carlos Baleba to them for cheap. Not at all. Tony Bloom is not a kind of man that is interested in anybody's applause or whatever. He is a purely businessman. The sad thing is that Carlos Baleba at Manchester United was taking somewhere. I think he was taking 15,000 pounds a week. 15,000 pounds a week. Charlie, 15 £15,000 a week. Hey, that is like 100,000 a month. Oh, Charlie, that is unfair. That is too small. Then the boy, if Man United come there, he will beg to go because if that is the amount of money that Carlos Baleba is taking from Manchester United, taking from Leicester City, there. In fact, I even heard it was 12.5. I'll check the numbers properly. I'll do that number check properly. I hear it was around 12.5k or something. 12,500. Oh, Charlie, this probably also. I don't know, guys. I don't know yet. They should give the boy good money, Massa. They should give Carlos Baleba good money because he's an excellent player. But of course, um, for a player his caliber, that's not enough. He used to play with Lenny Yoro, who today is a Manchester United. So we'll see how things are going to pan out from there. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Don't subscribe to the channel. And if you watched to this point, please subscribe, turn on notification. In the description, turn and do choose on. Please go into the link the description of the video below, pick up the link and then subscribe to Fiifi-Manfred Sports Analysis 2 and also subscribe and then turn on notification, pick up the codes and then go and then let's make some good money from Betway account also. I'll see you, God willing, later in the day. Until then, do take care. Bye-bye.